Hello, grade 7. Welcome to a new unit focusing on fractions. We're going to get the opportunity during this unit to do a lot of neat things, to be reminded about how to add and subtract fractions, to be reminded about how to multiply and divide fractions, to be reintroduced to some more order of operations. But first of all, what we need to do is just remember what the meaning of fractions actually is. So our goals for this unit, or for this lesson rather, and I have them once again, thought I'd share them with you. This unit, or this lesson rather, we're going to describe fractions as part of a group and as part of a whole, and we're going to be able to identify common fractions both pictorially and symbolically. That'll happen during the practice. Now the first thing that I want to do is to show you about, this is example 1, this is the idea that a fraction can be a part of a group. Okay, now what I have here is I have photocopies of different coins, and I have, how many do I have here? I have a quarter, I have 1, 2 dimes, 3 dimes, 4 dimes, 5 dimes, there's a penny, and there's a nickel. Okay, so I have a picture here of 7 coins, and it says here that 5 of them are dimes. Now, so I have a group of coins, I have a group of 7 coins, and if I wanted to say, well, I want to express the number of dimes that I have as a fraction, what I would do is I would say I have 5 dimes out of a group of 7. Okay? And just as a reminder, the number 5, this is called the numerator, and the number 7 is called the denominator. I'm sure you guys already knew that, but just as a reminder. So we have numerator as the top number, and the denominator is the bottom number. So this is a way of showing that a fraction can be part of a group, the number of dimes as opposed to the number of total coins. Okay, that's our first quick example. The second example that I wanted to share with you is an example showing a fraction that can be part of a whole. Okay, and what I have here is I have a nice little drawing of a tic-tac-toe board. Okay, it's got 9 squares. So I'm curious about how I can say how I can express as a fraction the number of colored squares to all the squares. And we can say that there are 5 squares that are colored, and so I can say that 5 out of the 9 squares are colored. And the second thing is the number of white squares to all squares is, well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, so I say that it's 4 out of 9. And again, we're really used to seeing fractions. The scores on things that we get, they're all fractions, parts of wholes, and so that shouldn't be anything new. So that's a pretty quick reintroduction to fractions. Now, a couple of things. I'm not sure how much you've seen of this before, but I thought I would share this. These are called fraction strips. Those are my 2 examples from before. These are called fraction strips. And they are able to show fractions. So this top one here is one big long strip, no divisions in there. This is just 1. This section is broken down into two different sections of this strip, so if you color in one of those 2 strips, then you're representing 1/2. So this is just 1 out of 1. This one you can say 1 out of 2, and then 2 out of 2. This one is broken into 3 sections, so this is 1 out of the 3, 2 out of the 3, and then 3 out of the 3. And again, we typically color them in. So if you have a strip and you divide it into 3 sections and you color 2 in, then we're saying that it represents 2/3. And again, you have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4, where you color all of them in. And you can go through. These are 5ths and 6ths and 7ths, 8ths and 9ths. Okay, actually this one's 8ths, this one's 6ths, there's no 7ths. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one's 10ths, and this one's probably 12ths. At the very bottom, we have 10ths and 12ths. Okay, these are fraction strips. I often use them to show you how to do things like adding and subtracting fractions. I don't typically use them to show you how to multiply and divide, but adding and subtracting for sure. We do use fraction strips as one of the methods, and I'm not sure if you've been shown them before, so be prepared to see these throughout the unit. The next thing that we see occasionally is we'll see circles. Okay, so again, here's the whole. This is just one circle. This is divided into halves and then thirds, quarters, fifths, sixths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's sevenths, eighths, ninths, tenths, elevenths, and twelfths. Okay, so these are just like pie charts kind of thing. The denominator would be the total number of slices, and then the number that you color in would be your numerator. Okay, again, I'm sure that we've seen all this before, but just by way of reminding you. This last thing that I'm going to show you, these are called number lines. Again, I'm pretty sure that we've seen number lines before. The neat thing about number lines is that you're able to divide them up using any denominator that you want. So if you use tenths, you can say like this is like this dash right here is 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's 10/10. That's all the way. There's actually still one other dash here. You can just say that that's 11/10. And so one of the things that we're going to be using and looking at is improper fractions, where the numerator is actually bigger than the denominator. As well, we'll be looking at something called mixed numbers, which I think you're pretty familiar with as well, where it's a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So these are number lines. Again, I use them to show, as a method to show addition and subtraction, not so much with multiplication or division. Okay, so these are the things that I wanted to show you for the meaning of fractions. And 5.1, the practice will be fairly straightforward. Have a great day.